We all want to have intimacy in our relationship, the feeling that we are one with our partner, the feeling that we can be fully ourselves. This kind of connection really takes us to a state of ecstasy and happiness. This is beyond words. It's hard to describe for me. However, this is not an easy state. Usually, when we try to create this intimacy, even if our bodies are very close, even if we know everything about each other, about the mind, about the thoughts of each other, we may have this feeling that there is something that is missing. We are not connecting in some level. If you don't connect emotionally, you won't develop a full sense of intimacy in your relationship. Stay with me, I will explain to you in this video how you can create this deeper level of connection, the emotional intimacy in your relationship, so you will enjoy this amazing experience. I am Pablo, this is Inner Spark, the place where we talk about spirituality and conscious love. So as I told you, there are 4 different kinds of intimacy. The first one is the physical intimacy, and you reach or you manifest this intimacy when you, for example, get naked, fully expose your body in front of your partner, you sleep together, you touch each other, you give a massage. The second level is the mental intimacy, and this is when you are able to share fully your thoughts in any moment. The third type is the emotional intimacy, and we are going to talk about this one in this video. And the fourth type is the spiritual intimacy, which is connecting more with our purpose, spiritual purpose, our karma. And this is a very big topic. I may bring this topic in another video. If you are interested to know more about the other kinds of intimacy, if you have doubts or comments, just let me know in the comments of the video and I will answer you. Well, the thing is that when we open ourselves, our heart, our emotional world, the first thing that we find is a lot of pain, traumas, blockages, resistances that we gather in our heart along the past experiences with our family, our past relationships, and so on. So every experience, unpleasant experience that we have in our life, it creates like a wound in our heart that is not pleasant, that is not nice. And instead of healing this wound, because we don't have the tools and the knowledge to heal, we have the tool and the knowledge to distract ourselves. So we do like this, we distract ourselves and these wounds stay in our heart, in a corner, in the unconscious mind. So when we open our heart, the first thing we find are those amazing, beautiful wounds. So we feel pain, we feel stress, we feel suffering, so on. Actually, this is the reason why we build very stiff personalities to protect ourselves from the experience of this pain and this suffering. That's why we became cold, we became very mechanic in our life, and we developed very stiff, very rigid personalities for us to not to experience this. But of course, when it comes to the relationship with our partner, the natural thing, the flow of energy takes us to open, and then we find this thing that is hurting us all the time. And this is good, it's unpleasant, but it is good because this is the only way we can heal these wounds. We can get free of these personalities that actually they are limitation, they are limiting us. And we can finally experience real love, real connection, real intimacy, and real self-development. So how to break this obstacle, this fear that we have, and actually open our heart and create emotional intimacy? The first things I would like to tell you is that take it easy. This is a process, this takes time, it's actually a healing process. You probably won't be able to fully open yourself in one day. You will need time, you will need breathe, all this pain, all this tension, all this suffering with your breathing, with your consciousness. With time, you will heal it with your forgiveness, with your detachment, with your observation. I will tell you now the key things, but don't try to apply and think that you can do this in 2 days or overnight. It's a process, takes time, so be patient with yourself, be lovely with yourself and with your partner, and be sure that if you apply these 3 things I will tell you now, the results will be amazing. So the first step for you to create this kind of intimacy is to be able to observe your emotional state. And for this, you will need a mindful observation, because most of the time we are aware of our thinking process, what we think, but most of the time we miss the emotion behind the thinking process. For example, you may say, I like potatoes. Okay, this is your thoughts. These are your thoughts. I like potatoes. But why you like potatoes? Maybe if you observe yourself, if you observe these thoughts and observe your body when you have these thoughts, you may realize that maybe you like potatoes because this is what you usually ate at home when you were with your family in winter, and you have this connection of coziness, family, love, routine, conversations. Maybe it takes you to some memories. Actually, you know that the emotional eating, it's working in this way. We connect certain emotions with certain foods, and then we don't choose them with our rational mind, we choose them with our emotional mind. So there is always emotion running beyond your thinking process. If you are able to catch this emotion, this is the first step you need. I will give you another example. Imagine your partner tells you something that you don't like. For example, please clean the house. And maybe you realize that you don't have time because you have other things to do. Maybe some work responsibilities, or maybe you have a commitment with someone else. Okay, and you say, okay, I cannot because I don't have time. This is how your thinking process is working. But the interesting thing is how you feel in the background. You may feel that you may fail someone because you have a commitment. Maybe you feel that you are pushed by your partner, that he is telling you what to do and you don't like to be told what to do. Maybe you feel that someone is taking your freedom, you feel in a cage, you feel limited. Maybe you don't like responsibilities, you don't like to have commitment to do things, so you avoid it. So, okay, you may say, no, I don't have time. This is your thinking process, but the interesting thing is what is the emotion behind, how you feel. So first, recognize the emotion behind your thinking process. Second, you have to be able to express this emotion. And for this, you need a safe space in your relationship. What is a safe space? Safe space is an agreement with your partner for you both to be able to fully express yourself freely, to say what you want to say, to move as you want to move, to have the silence and the patience and the zero rejection and judgment, so you can fully say what you feel. And of course, beyond this safe space, you need to have the will to share, to express yourself fully. And for this, you have to overcome the fear to be rejected, or the fear to be abandoned, or the fear to hurt the other person, the fear to hurt yourself or hurt the relationship. Okay, this is a process of an exercise, a practice of self-expression, and it is connected with vulnerability and honesty. So this is the second step, being able to express this emotion that you are having in this moment, that you have in this moment. And the third step, the most difficult, the most tricky of them, is that you have to be able to do nothing with this emotion. This is called empathic attention. So when you put your emotion on the table, for example, your emotion is, every time you tell me I have to do something, I feel like I am in a cage, like I cannot move, like I am trapped, like I lost my freedom. Of course, you can think rationally, especially this is for the man who has a very strong rational mind, how to feel that like you lose your freedom if someone tells you, please clean the house. Okay, of course, this may have no sense from the rational point of view, and you may have the temptation to deny this emotional experience by saying something like, come on, this makes no sense at all, you are exaggerating, this is too much. Well, here is the tricky thing. When an emotion is expressed, if you want to create this emotional intimacy between you both, you need to honor and respect every single emotion. To honor means not to judge, not to reject, not to support the emotion, because it is just an emotion. It's an emotional response that is connected with the past experiences, with our traumas, with our wounds, with our conditioning. So the thing is, like, we have to be able to bring fully the emotion between you and me, between you and your partner, and then allow it to be there. That's all. With not thinking it's good or bad, or fair or unfair, or reasonable or unreasonable. in time, this emotion, this experience will melt, will dissolve, and actually, this will create the intimacy because you will allow fully the emotional experience and the emotional expression of the other person. This is bringing freedom, relaxation, happiness. You will feel free to express fully yourself because you will know that your partner will take fully the expression, will allow it fully, with no rejection, with no label it at all. And the same for you, for your partner. He will or she will feel fully free to be herself or himself. And this is the most beautiful present, gift you can offer to your partner. When you are able to play this game of the emotions, to bring the emotions between you both and allow them to melt, bring more emotions, allow them to melt, bring more and more and allow them to melt, this is actually a huge healing process. And one day you will discover that you can be fully yourself in front of the other person and that you are not going to be rejected ever. This is actually a wow experience that will take your relationship to a new level. This is the sacred alchemy. This is the conscious love. So I hope this video will help you to work better with your emotions and to create this emotional intimacy and to enjoy the amazing pleasure of being fully yourself in your relationship and celebrate life together. I send you tons of love and I see you in the next video.